Welcome to the CWC Podcast with your hosts, David Selby, Andy Horton, and Savannah Smith.
Welcome back to the CWC Podcast, your home for the latest news, rumors, and updates around the sport of chuckwagon racing. I am your host, David Selby. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Andy Horton and Savannah Smith. We have kind of a fun show today. We don't have a guest, but we did just launch Season 3 of the Great Wagon Race, and we're gearing up for this weekend's first race of the year. It's going to be in Alamo, Tennessee, and we've got kind of a goodie here on the show today where we're going to talk about just comments on a video that we posted about the big mules from Clinton. And it tickles us, so we hope it tickles you whenever we share some of these comments. So stick around. It's going to be a fun show. But before we get there, make sure you get over, check out chuckwagonchannel.com, subscribe, and relive the ride. It's $11 a month or $99 a year. And you know we've been talking about it for a long time, and it's finally here. We have premiered Season 3 of the Great Wagon Race. And gosh dang it, I love it. I'm excited. I think people are liking it. If you're up to speed on what's happening, if you watched Season 1 and Season 2, I think this just keeps building on it. And we only have Episode 1 out. We're doing this week over week over week for 7 episodes. And the response has been really good. You know, for me, it's a warm and fuzzy when people are sending me a Facebook message or a text or whatever. Or if they post and they say something about it, you know, like that fills my cup right up. So that's exciting to me. But yeah, I kind of wanted to get the first takeaway from how everybody feels about it, and maybe hit on maybe a favorite part or something like that. But before we get to that, like, what was you guys' experience seeing Episode 1? I want to know.
So Jimmy Head saw it before I did, and immediately started talking to me about it.
So he spoiled it, didn't he?
He's no, not really. He didn't give me any spoilers.
Ending.
He was cool about it. He didn't give me any spoilers, but he was really excited about it. And he was like, "Man, good job." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks." And I'm thinking, you know, I haven't even seen it yet. But having finally gotten to sit down and watch it, man, I mean, you don't know, like, you know what you did, like what part you played in it, but you, having not seen everyone's angles and seeing it put together, it's really cool how, because I mean, when you're down there shooting yourself, you're like, man, what kind of story are we about to tell with what we're doing? And seeing what everybody else did. And I wasn't there for all the interviews and stuff. So sometimes I'm shooting B-roll that I don't even know what is for. And it's really interesting how the context it gets used in. And so it was pretty cool to see that all come together. And I know that we obviously talked about the beginnings and stuff of the chuckwagon races at Clinton in the last seasons and the previous seasons, but it was done a little bit different this time around. And I do appreciate how it was done. Like some more of the old footage that got brought back up was pretty cool. And talking to people that were there, like when it first started, was really cool.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go ahead and throw my favorite scene out there. I may be speaking out of turn, but
yeah, do it.
I'm a technical camera shot type person, so this is the one that took me off guard. I didn't know anybody did this, and this has to be. Did we have a camera tied to a tree somewhere?
We had a GoPro attached to a tree, and then I think Saturday, Alex Crisco would have been tucked behind that tree on the very first curve at the top of the hill shooting.
Is that what it was? Was it
we
Alex?
Had a person, and then the next day we had a GoPro.
For the big mules.
Okay. Because there's this scene where I think you're interviewing Chase Outlaw, and he says something to the effect of, and then if those mules don't hook up and get you up that hill, you're going to get beat. And when he says that, it goes to this scene where you're looking dead on at this mule team coming straight at the camera, and it looks like it's going to hit the camera. I mean, it looks like there can't possibly be a person standing there holding that camera. I don't know who that was, or if it was
it had
a GoPro.
To have been the GoPro footage then.
Yeah.
If
it was a
really
wide angle. It was a wide angle. So that's what I was like it was one of those shots that make you flinch. Like I was like, wow.
Right.
I don't know if you guys remember, but I mean, hell, a couple months ago, we posted a video of Blake and Aaron Wiles coming up the hill, and you see him change and put reins in one hand and do the little rocker sign.
Yeah.
That was Alex actually sitting there with his camera in that turn.
Yeah, it is kind of funny. Like you saying the GoPro stuff, like it's been several months since we were at Clinton, but like I know between Alex and I, we were both working in the hill, and one of us would be up there one day, one of us wouldn't be or whatever. And so we kind of moved around on that. And I know like one day I had a GoPro up there that I would have sat down, and then I was like, I'm going to get away from where that's at because that's a dangerous spot. But that's why we have it, right? And and we kind of have different angles, and you'll see them throughout the show where you can kind of get those. It's just trying to show some perspective on what that big mule hill really is. And even after we did all the shooting and did this season that's really kind of focusing on that division, nothing does it justice like how steep that hill really is.
Yeah.
You almost cannot capture it on video because it's, first of all, it's a big hill, and trying to just walk up that hill just to get up there and shoot. I mean, it's like, it is work. Like that is a steep hill. It just, I know Danny Newland has always said like it's as steep as a horse's face or whatever, like it's really steep. But no, I would say, I was going to say on one of my favorite things from episode 1, not to like spoil it for people here, but we actually had Andy and Savannah there on the ground for the camp cleanup, which is that first day that they opened the gates a week or two before Clinton actually, they opened the gates for the big event for the national championships. And so it has been this tradition that people come and they get in line the night before August 15th. So the night of August 14th, and then at 6 a.m. or whatever, they open the gates and people rush in with campers and trailers and all kinds of things and lawnmowers, and they go and they run and basically get to their sites to do whatever they're going to set up, but more importantly, getting those spots around the track that are the most coveted spots. And so kind of telling that piece of the story, I think, was a really neat way. It was like something that we easily could have done in season 1 or 2, and it made a lot of sense, but introducing that in season 3, it's a great example of how we kind of continue to go and find other things with the show, because there's so much stuff, like there's so much content, like, and even, and not hats off to Alicia Perry, our editor.
Absolutely.
The way she keeps going back and using this historical footage and making it feel like we're kind of seeing it for the first time, like Danny's monologue about the 40 years, the way she kind of uses that and uses historical footage that you've kind of seen some of that in the first 2 seasons, but the way it's so relevant again in the 40th anniversary. So I just kind of like the way that the whole show starts, where you actually truly experience coming in and seeing what happens before the event ever even launches. But anyways, Savannah, what's your takeaways? What's your favorite moment?
I'm kind of with Andy. I really enjoyed seeing the historical footage, specifically those historical interviews. That was really neat. I enjoyed hearing Chase talk about just growing up on the ranch and what that was like for him. And then, of course, the sentimental side of things, of having made so many friends that are in this community, and also having family that competes at Clinton, and being able to see them on screen, or friends sitting around camp, or my cousin in a wagon in the Great Parade with his 2 little boys. That really hit me in the feels. So that's just something that I find very hard to put into words, but makes me very emotional.
Yeah,
in the best way,
Right.
Well, so far the feedback's been good. We've it's just out there on the Chuckwagon channel. That's where you can see it. Season 3, episode 1 is out there. Episode 2 will come out this Saturday. We'll keep launching these 6 p.m. every Saturday until we run out. 7 of them. So lot to look forward to. Just fun season.
So back on the cleanup day thing for just a second. Hey, Savannah, what are you glad that you did not do?
I almost said that. Okay, my original plan was to get down on the ground somewhere and have this really cool shot of them just coming towards me. And I am so thankful I did not leave the top of that hill. I stayed on the bluff, not terribly far from Andy.
Mind you.
Yeah. I remember thinking it would have been such a cool shot, such a great idea. I might have lost my life that day.
You would have gotten ran over.
Yeah.
I didn't know
crazy.
either. I didn't have a clue how chaotic that was going to be. And we looked at each other up there and we were like, wow. She was like, I'm so glad I'm not down there right now. And I'm like, it is vital that you are not down there right now.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And there was a small part of me that, like, right before everyone took off down the hill, I was kind of thinking, like, man, maybe I should have, like, put in the extra work to get down there and get set up. Like, maybe I feel like I'm being a little bit lazy here or a little overly cautious. Nope. 5 minutes later, I was like, yeah, I made the right choice.
Yeah. It's crazy that they get all those trailers down there and get them all lined up the way that they do. It's impressive. Highly recommend checking out Camp Cleanup sometime.
Yeah.
But
just go pop up a chair on the bluff with your coffee and breakfast and just watch the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a dinner,
just go watch that.
The night before up there this time. Is that the first time they've ever done that?
I think so.
Because I've never been. Okay.
They had a section up top with music and food, and then they had a section at the bottom with music and food.
Oh, I didn't know that. Like down at the bunkhouse?
That's kind of what I understood.
At the Red Barn?
Yeah, that's what I understood.
So Dapple would have been in charge of the one in the bottoms, and then I believe Peggy was leading the one up top on the bluff. So no matter where you were at, you could have some community, have some food, enjoy yourself before getting your spot in line.
Okay. I knew about the one up top. I got there after it was basically over by the time I could get there, but
it's pretty exciting stuff. Definitely go check out the Great Wagon Race Season 3, Big Mules Up the Hill.
We got some other pretty awesome news.
Yes. Well, and I should reiterate, hey, if you've got a smart TV and you got a Roku, you can watch it there now. Make sure you go download the app on your smart TV streaming TV device. As long as it's Roku, that's the only place we're at right now.
That is how I watched it Saturday.
Another bit of good news here. It was kind of rumored in the past that we were going to get a little bit more national exposure for the sport of chuckwagon racing through Cowboy Channel and Western Sports Roundup. For those of you that don't know, Western Sports Roundup is the sports center to Western sports, basically. And so it's where it all happens. It's a nightly broadcast throughout the whole week, and it's an hour long, I think, every night. And we have had a couple of things featured on there before, but it's just been like, hey, here was something from Clinton or whatever. We thought we were going to go into 2025 with some kind of plan to get more regular season content on there. But this year we actually got on the phone with the right people, and they have sent us the format that they would like us to submit our post-race recap highlights as well as point standings throughout the season. So every Wednesday post-race, as long as there was a race that week, we are going to have a segment for Chuckwagon Racing on Wednesday nights on Western Sports Roundup, nationally broadcast. So that is a huge win. Like, that's a big deal for Chuckwagon Racing. We've been saying for a long time now that the sport's growing. There's more awareness. I stand by that. I think that Chuckwagon Racing is going to be a cornerstone piece in Western sports as we keep going forward. Just watch, guys. Just watch. It's happening. So yeah, tune in on Wednesday nights. Next week will be our first one.
Now tune in where?
On Western Sports Roundup on Cowboy Channel Plus, however you like to consume that content. If you have to go and check if you have it through Dish or DirecTV, you could watch it there in the evenings, or if you pay, I think it's $10 a month or $100 a year, around that, for Cowboy Channel Plus. So go and check out their stuff, and that's where we're going to have Great Wagon Race Season 2 premiering as well. That's April 20th. So heads up, we got a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline. Just big wins for Chuckwagon Racing. So make sure you get over to Western Sports Roundup on Wednesday to see the recap on the Buck Creek Chuckwagon Races. So that's very exciting.
Boop, boop.
Heck yeah.
Okay. Speaking of Buck Creek, we have got a Chuckwagon race in Alamo, Tennessee. It's going to be Kim and Shannon Mayo putting it on. They are doing this for the first time. A lot of people know that they were helping to promote and host the Loretta Lynn's Chuckwagon Race over at Hurricane Mills, Tennessee previously, but that we're kind of just saying that's moved. I guess that's kind of how we're identifying that. We have moved that race. It's over in Alamo now. Same people are kind of putting it on. And right now they've got 95 teams confirmed to race.
95.
95, yeah.
What is essentially a first race.
Yeah, and it's almost in another country in Tennessee. So it's a long ways away.
Wow.
So people are going to drive there, and I love that. To me, that bodes well for the rest of the season. I think we're going to see a lot of teams racing this year. It's going to be really interesting. 31 youth entries, and keep in mind, like these teams or these entries include, a lot of people that race multiple races, more than one. 31 entries, 64 adult teams entered. So when we're flirting with 100 teams at the first race of the year, that's a pretty big deal.
Especially one out of state.
Yeah, when I think back to like the first cow cutter race in Sparkman, Arkansas, it would have been, I don't know if it was the first race of the year, if it was one of the first races of the year.
It was close.
And they would have had 70 something. And
that's a lot.
Feeling, it's a great turnout. And here we are, and we've got close to 100 teams. That's it's going to be pretty exciting. So very excited. This is the first sanctioned race that will be holding a junior division. This is new, where there will be the youth will be running 2 at a time. Not the same as your typical 3-person, 3-animal, got to load the wagon, jump on the horse, do the whole thing. They will start with, it'll be basically just taking the standard youth situation where it would be one team running around the track or running across the track, and now they're going to have 2 of them. So it just gives them a little bit more exposure. I believe that's just for the 9 to 14 age range, where they get that exposure of running next to another wagon. I believe that's still going to be with an adult.
Yes.
In the wagon. So
absolutely.
So that's exciting stuff, and
so that's gonna require a little bit of a different start, right? Most likely, because usually they have like that rolling start where they just come running from the back, and so if they're lining up 2 at a time,
I hope that they're doing a rolling start. That would be fun, but
terrifying.
I don't know.
Yeah, the only time I have ever seen that was 2 places, I guess. Last year, Loretta Lynn's, if I'm remembering right, there was a runoff. There was a runoff in the youth division, and so there were 2 that had to start at the same line. And they kind of decided this like spur of the moment. They ran them both next to each other, and they had to basically steady at the line, which was it worked out.
Right.
And then last year you had this outlaw race. You had Reggie Little outlaw race, Trent Little. And they were pushing the boundaries on trying new things. And that's what I love to see this come full circle. They tried something new where they actually had 2 youth teams, junior division teams, I guess we'll call them, out on the field at the same time. They actually had the outriders in there as well, but they started on their horses mounted, and they ran that. So we kind of got to see something new that maybe was kind of the trendsetter or blazed or forged that path, for something like this new to happen. So I love it. I think we're singing the praises of the youth division still. It's great.
Absolutely. Well, and also just for a second, I mean, I think Trent kind of hit on this when we were had him on the show, but that kind of speaks to the importance of at least having an outlaw race or 2 somewhere, because they make a great test bed and a place to experiment for things that maybe you couldn't necessarily do with an actual sanctioned event. So Absolutely. It works out. It helps the sport as a whole just having that, I think.
I love it.
I agree. Kudos to you, Trent, for setting this up to, give these kids a runway into getting better and better and taking bigger steps.
So we've got a couple of teams here that we're going to throw out there for the junior division. We're going to see the Hellions with Jace Howard versus Hickory Plains Outlaws with Blair Hoover. And FSR Pony Edition, Ava Beatty, taking on Freight Train Mackay Stamps. I'm going to get his name right some this year.
Ava, she was the recipient of the youth giveaway, the wagon. Is that correct?
That sounds right. That was 2 weeks ago now, so I've mostly forgotten everything about it. But no, I think
was
that
it
you're
2
right.
weeks? I feel like it's been longer.
It was like 2.5 weeks, I guess now. I took a vacation after that for a minute.
Oh, yeah. I guess it has been 2.5 weeks.
But yeah, exciting. Got some new stuff coming up.
Yeah, we're seeing a good mix of familiar and unfamiliar names. So while we're on this topic of youth kids breaking in and doing all kinds of new cool things, we've got Flint Tuttle coming in for Freight Train Youth Ponies 8 and under. KJ Clinton is going to be running Youth 9 to 14. And then we've got Lydia Raper, River Wright, and Cohen Page. It's exciting to see some new youth names come up. It means that, they're excited. They're ready to get started.
Wow, it means we've got a future,
We do.
I mean, yeah. You don't want to see that run dry.
Yeah.
And we've got some adult names that we maybe knew or that we haven't heard of as much. We've got House of Diamonds, BHRT. What is that
Big
abbreviation?
Horse.
Yeah.
Big Horse Rubber Tire.
Mm-hmm. That's the division they're in? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Bad Luck and Trouble, officially running Big Horse Rubber Tire team. If we remember correctly, this is part of last year's Freight Train crew, Crystal and Jason Rutledge with Tristan Duncan.
Mm-hmm.
And Ain't This a Mess? And Mama Said Go, 46-inch mules. And have we heard Mama Said Go before?
I don't think so, but it's so on brand with.
I've got Mama Tried, maybe.
Yeah. You got. I love these names. They're very Chuckwagon, Arkansas Chuckwagon Race names. You guys are nailing it.
Oh yeah, and we got Wanted and On the Run and Stroke and Sea and 52-inch ponies. We've got Rock and Rhino. They're not new. I've heard that name before.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got Wicked and Spurs. I've heard that name before. And 4-Up Ponies. I'm not sure what division they were in, but I've definitely heard Wicked and Spurs said over the PA more than once. And then we've got Wide Ass Open Classic Team. Oh, because it's a classic team. Okay. Because I know I've heard Wide Ass Open. It just wasn't a classic.
No, they're a big mule team, but now they're coming in with a classic team.
Oh, this could be interesting.
Yeah, and that's Kim. That's Kim and Shannon's stuff.
Yeah. So. Okay. So she had mentioned she wasn't sure if their classic wagon was going to be finished by now, but it looks like it is, and they're ready to roll.
Yeah, whether it is or not,
awesome.
we're expecting to see it. The pressure's on. So
that is awesome.
Like they're doing a lot more racing this year, she said, and what better place to do that than when you're at home and you're hosting, maybe 1,000 or 2,000 people, and you're trying to like do all that and switch out wagons and teams and everything. They're going to be busy people, but the weather right now, the outlook is really good for this weekend, so that is very exciting. Maybe this will be the year that it's always 80 degrees and sunny every weekend instead of
you better knock on
cloudy
some wood.
And rainy. I don't think I could possibly make it any worse than it was last year. I mean, we got rained on last year.
You really need to knock on some wood now.
What is wrong with you?
Hey,
Stop talking.
I take it head on.
I was at a Raining Horse show last week or week before last. I almost got hit by a tornado.
It could always be worse.
It can always be worse. That is crazy to say stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm not the most superstitious person in the world, but if I see a heads up penny, I'm picking it up. And if I see a tails down penny, I'm leaving it there. And I'm
not suspicious, but I don't do the pennies.
Other than that, I'm not too suspicious. And okay. And then I always put my pants on with my right leg first, and I always put my left foot in my left shoe. But I am not superstitious though. Okay.
You don't put your right shoe on your right foot?
No, I put it on
your left foot.
No, I start with the left foot and the left shoe.
Okay.
You put the left foot in the left shoe first.
As much as we get smoked by the weather, you would think that you would only have one superstition.
Right. Well, like I said, I'm not superstitious, so I'm not worried about the weather.
Just about what shoe goes on first.
Right. What?
All right.
Do you do the knife if you hand someone an open or closed knife, it's got to be returned in the same manner?
That bothers me.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that does bother me.
See, there's the safety side of me that's like, you don't hand somebody an open knife, but also if I'm handed one that's open, I will be handing it back open.
Yeah. I'm the same way.
I might close it. I don't know if I'd be consistent. If they hand it to me open, to me the problem is more how you're handing it to them. If if you're handing it to them because they're getting ready to cut something, like their hand is like holding something, they need it to be open so they can cut it, then it should be open. But if you're just like, here, have this knife, then maybe you shouldn't open it and give it to them. I don't know.
Well,
like if you sold somebody a knife, it's probably closed when you give it to them, right?
Right, and you're generally not handing the knife back that you just bought. But when you're in the situation of someone kindly opens it for you when you're cutting something, you got to hand that thing back open even when you're done.
I know some vendors that need to jump in here and comment on the proper
Casey?
way. Yeah, somebody jump in.
Well, he doesn't count. He sells fixed blades. So I don't know. What's the other?
Who makes the Damascus knives up at Clinton? I've got one that I've had since my first year in like 2015. She's sitting in my kitchen right now because I used it to open a box yesterday.
I'm not sure. I know Casey's are mainly made out of reclaimed like saw blades and stuff. So I'm not 100% sure who does the Damascus.
Not Casey.
Hey, it would have been. Speaking of saw blades, though, I'm going to cut right into this next segment. Here we go. All right, so we have a new segment today on the show. Yeah, I took it. We got a new segment that you guys are going to enjoy this. I think you're going to enjoy it. We enjoyed it. That's why we brought it around.
I'm going to enjoy it.
But I
enjoyed it all weekend.
We posted this video kind of corresponding to the release of Big Mules Up the Hill. And we had the trailer out there. And, we're always watching, how's a video performing on social media. We want to put our best foot forward with Chuckwagon Racing, and we want to see our social pages perform well because that represents the sport well. It gives credibility to the sport if our posts are performing well. So we had this crazy post pop off, and in hindsight, I'm like, of course it did. This is a hilarious video. It's impressive. It's crazy. It doesn't make any sense if you've never seen it before, if you don't know what Chuckwagon Racing is. But we put this video out, and we're probably just going to show it. Boom, there. Savannah's showing it. So you got Diamond S Express, Big Mules team, coming down the hill at Clinton. And Savannah, tell me a little bit about the performance of the video.
Oh, it's been insane. And I before we really get into the crunch and the numbers, I want to say I took a little time to research. I even got down and was like, was there some sort of big change in the algorithm over the weekend that we just happened to fall right in line with? No. There's this really cool video, really cool things happening. And I think the classic rock music really was just the cherry on top. Fun fact about that, I had reached out to Alex Slaughter and was like, hey, I've got this idea for a video. I've got this really cool footage from Andy's camera. I want to use it. So if your team were to have a theme song, what would it be? And he sent me about 3 options, and this one worked the best, which also I'm a fan of Metallica, so I might have been just a little bit biased there. And I had it scheduled to go out at 9:20 a.m. By the time I checked my phone at like 11 o'clock, it had taken off, absolutely taken off. So as of 1 p.m. today, and I've totaled all the numbers
Tuesday.
Across. Yeah, as of 1 p.m. Yes, right, because this will air on Thursday. I'm sure the numbers will well have increased by then. So as of 1 p.m., Tuesday, March 17th, across all of our platforms, we have had 3.3 million views, 94,000 likes, 2,000 comments, 13.2 thousand shares, and 1.1 thousand saves.
Yeah,
so 3 separate accounts, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Those numbers, that is insane. That's absolutely insane.
Based on the comments, I like to think that those saves are people that are like, okay,
we want to do
look at this. I got to look this up. I got to know what this is.
Right.
I don't understand. And the comments are hilarious, but and we're going to go through some of those here, but just to break this clip down, I mean, the first thing you see is coming around that turn that shoots down the hill on top of the Big Mule Hill at Clinton, and you've got Alex
just
Slaughter
leaning
cooking.
over and just grabbing a hold of Tracy.
Yeah, he's cooking, and Tracy Slaughter, his dad,
he's just
is
locked in.
He's in the zone. He's like he's going. He's got the reins, and Alex is like, "Daddy, I'm getting on you," and it's like, I'm just kidding, Alex. It wasn't. He doesn't look like he's that terrified. It just they're just doing what they do. They're competing.
They look so calm and collected.
But it's also like Mario Kart, and you've got fire coming out the back of this wagon, and people are like, what am I seeing? and you see those comments, people are like, what's the fire for? Like they don't have any idea. And there's just so many
there's
things.
Been some fun responses to that.
It's like every different sensation hitting you all at the same time, and you're just like, what is going on? And like I was like, we've seen all this footage. It's not new to us, and it's honestly, it might even be a blind spot for us at this point because we've seen it so many times. We're like, yeah, that's those guys coming down the hill. They've got fireworks. That's we see that every year. But
that's a good way to put it. We're a little bit numb to it.
I don't know. Speak for yourselves, gentlemen. Which I should probably not say anything considering I've not put it online. But every time I get a chance to just kind of like live in some footage for a little bit and look at stuff, I have made notes. I have written down file names. I have saved sounds on different social medias, like hoping that at some point I've got the time to go back and do something with it because it is so insane. Even if it's simply, we know those people and it, okay, like the video that Andy had made right after Clinton of Kaylee Rice just running in slow motion with the fog and stuff everywhere. Little things like that. It is so artistic. It is so cool. And to be able to, at the bare minimum, showcase this 5 to 10 second clip of somebody that we know doing something really cool or looking cinematic or artistic, it's something. I will say our blind spot
flutter.
Yes. I will say our blind spot is finding the time and the bandwidth to really sit down and strategically and artistically do something with all of this content. But it's not for the fact that we've just gotten to the point where it's not as cool as it once was.
No, and I'm not saying it's not cool.
No,
I think Wagon Races is cool, but it is like to think at that moment when you first see that clip and you've been shooting, all day or all week or whatever, we don't necessarily, I think my thing is I don't just see that and I'm like, that's going to get 3 million views. I'm just like,
right. Yeah.
It's like, if I knew that, I would have like, oh, I'm going to write that. I'll do that tonight.
Obviously. Yeah.
But we've seen a trend with these reels that we're putting out there on Facebook and stuff. And, we're learning this stuff as we go too. It's not like we knew a year ago how this stuff would perform. It's just that you put stuff out there. We came back from Clinton and Andy was dumping some reels on us. He's like, hey, this stuff's cool, and putting music to it. And then we're putting it out there and it's performing well. And then we've actually finally been able to take a little bit of time in this, I guess, call it the off season. It feels like it has not been an off season to actually start putting more of this content. Yeah. Yep. And this year's not slowing down, but we are seeing some crazy stuff. But hey, let me just hit on some of these comments because they're fun. And,
this pause. We're teetering on the family friendly side of things. So if you're under the age of whatever your parents say is or isn't appropriate, maybe it's time to go.
This isn't what PG-13. This isn't what we said.
Yeah,
these are comments that somebody else put.
Yeah. Yes. Just so we're clear about that.
Yeah. These. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Are we in a safe space?
Okay, we're in a safe place. Earmuffs, little ones. Okay, so referring to Tracy. One comment said, the bearded crazy one has his foot stuck on the accelerator. The bearded crazy one. Another one, that big rascal in the blue steering that one team was locked in. Again, they're talking about you, Tracy. Daggum cowboy bobsledding right there.
What is your accent, David?
You just think about the lens that people see through. It's incredible to me. I love it. Another one. Now we know why Festus rode a mule. And then why is this not an Olympic sport? There's some
good question.
You know what? Not a good question. It should be an Olympic sport. I totally agree.
I can only think of a couple of reasons why, but
I think safety might be at the top of the one.
Yeah, well, they're going to make flag football an Olympic sport. I think we can make chuckwagon racing.
You saved yourself all the mild ones. Now look what you've left me. Like,
yeah.
This
You're
isn't
welcome.
fair.
Ugh.
Okay, here's the first comment. I don't know if anybody noticed the wheelbarrow in the background carrying their balls when they weren't racing.
Okay, so there were a couple of comments.
If you don't bleep that, you hate me, okay?
I'm not. I shall not. There were a couple comments that replied to that parent one right there, and there was this image pulled from South Park. I don't remember which day.
I know the scene.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's got the wheelbarrow with his swollen testicles.
Yep.
Oh,
It's
if you've got
terrible.
the time, ladies and gentlemen, just pick a platform.
Yeah.
Facebook has
wow.
the best ones. Just start reading comments.
All right, next one. Andy.
As a horse person who came from a huge drag racing family, I have found my calling. Absolutely. welcome our brother in Christ and adrenaline. Barrel racing wasn't enough. Now we're using mules to Tokyo drift in tiny carts that are on fire.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I just love hearing how these people are seeing this, how it's hitting their eyeballs.
This is a good one too. What in the moonshine prohibition cop running activity do we have here? Well, that, my friend, would be chuckwagon racing in the big mule division. This is referring
this
to
one's
the
about
scene.
you, Alex.
Yeah, this is about Alex. Yeah, grab my titties and
Don't
hang
say
on.
it. Oh, that was the bleep.
We're going to get there yesterday.
Hold on. What was that?
gosh.
David interrupted you.
I tried to bleep it.
No, if you didn't
We'll do
hear
that
me,
in post processing.
you don't get that one twice. Sorry.
You got to go find it in the comments.
You don't get that one twice.
Yeah.
All right.
Good one.
Twin turbo and supercharged mules is an awesome combo. I do agree.
Yeah.
With the diesel prices, I might just have to figure this deal out.
No kidding.
Yeah. Someone commented, how I roll up to the store when I'm out of Zens. That used to be me when I vaped and I was out. But I do not now.
We should have got a sponsorship on that one.
Someone said this is why women live longer.
Oh no.
Sorry about you.
Yeah.
Sorry about you. There are women that compete just as hard in these divisions.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can even see that in some of our other reels. Like you just go.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. And then one of my favorites, one person asked what's on fire behind them. Someone else decided to reply, I think it's the driver's giant steel balls dragging behind them.
Incredible.
And on that note,
incredible.
Thank you for joining us today, everybody. It's been great having you. Don't forget to subscribe, relive the ride. David, here's your line.
Oh my gosh. We'll see you out on the track.
Thanks for listening to the CWC podcast.